First off, to be fair, I used to work at the place this happened. I used to work as a pickup clerk at a nearby Giant, but I stopped working there about a year ago. But because of my job, I basically have the entire store memorized, and can quickly point out what row something should be in if I was asked. That, plus the fact that I sometimes chat with my old co-workers, could make someone assume I still worked there. Anyways, I was there yesterday, looking for ingredients I was missing for dinner. But while I was looking, someone walked up to me. She was about the same age as me, and had the same vibe of I need to find something, but I'm too anxious to just ask an employee around her that I usually have. She got my attention, then politely asked where something in another aisle was. I pointed it out to her, she thanked me and went on her way, and I went back to looking for my ingredients. About a minute later, someone else came up to me and got my attention. But before I could even say yes, they started talking. Let's just call her Karen for now. Karen, I need to get whatever it was she needed. Me, oh, that's an aisle number, whatever it was. Karen, I already checked there, and they were all out. Me, oh. Well, sorry about that. Maybe they'll have some more later. I then turned to go back to my shopping when she said the next magic words. Karen, can't you just go to the back and check? Of course, I was pretty confused at that, and turned to look at her. Me, no? I don't work here. Karen, immediately starting to get annoyed, yes you do. I've seen you around here before. And you just finished helping that other girl. Me, well, I used to work here, so I know where stuff is. But I quit like a year ago. Karen, don't give me that. Why else would you be here all of the time? Me, yeah, because I shop here. Karen started to look genuinely pissed when I said that for some reason, and I decided then was a perfect time to leave and avoid getting yelled at. I continued getting what I needed, constantly checking over my shoulder to make sure I wasn't being followed and probably looking incredibly suspicious. I finally got everything I needed and made a beeline towards the self-checkout area. Now, I should note that the self-checkout space is directly across from the customer service area, where you can look up and look directly at the self-checkout. I say that because when I finished bagging my stuff, I looked up to see the Karen from before talking to my old manager at the customer service desk. I should also note that my old manager is a large chunk of why I decided to quit. Mostly because she is a controlling asshole that constantly breathes down other people's throats instead of doing any actual work. Surprisingly, she was doing her job for once, and nodded along while Karen angrily ranted at her. I decided to ignore the two and started to head towards the exit, but of course, that was the exact moment Karen decided to look over and spot me trying to leave. She pointed at me and yelled her. That girl right there. Of course, everyone stopped and started to stare at me, which would have made just leaving a lot more awkward, so I stopped in my tracks. My old manager leaned over the counter to look at me, made a confused face, then turned to the lady. Manager, sorry ma'am, but she doesn't work here anymore. Apparently, being proven wrong by the manager Karen's tipping point, because she suddenly started to scream at my old manager. Karen, you're the manager. She's an employee. Tell her to help me now. Surprisingly, my old manager gathered up the gall to actually turn to me again at that. Manager, Arvios, do you mind helping her? At this point, I was genuinely shocked at her question. I knew she would do anything for a customer at her employee's expense, but I didn't think it would extend to people that didn't even work for her. Me, are you going to pay me? Manager, no, but. Me, yes, I do mind. See ya. And before either of them could say anything, I walked out of the store. I heard Karen start yelling again, but I couldn't properly catch what she was saying before I fully exited the store and headed towards my car. Yeah, not exactly an exciting ending, sorry. I'm just still reeling at both how furious that lady got when I said I didn't work here anymore, and the gall of my old manager to attempt to order me around after I haven't worked for her in literally a year. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Edit, holy shit, this blew up. Thanks for all of the awards everyone. I am glad to see everyone else was as shocked as I was. But honestly, I didn't even realize how insanely out of line what my old manager tried to do was until I saw all the comments telling me to report her. I guess I was just too angry about the whole situation to properly think about it. I am going to try and get in touch with either the owner of the store itself or corporate to report her. I'll update this again if anything actually comes from that. I work with a Karen, though not in retail. Recently, this Karen was regaling some co-workers with a story about some hell she raised at a store, and she was quite proud of herself for being rude to the store employee. At the end of the story she tagged on a coda to justify her obnoxious behavior. Her logic? You have to stand up to them, and you have to push back on them, because it will make the shopping experience better for everyone else that comes after you. Karens believe that they are training retail big box store employees as though they were puppies by screaming, throwing tantrums, and humiliating people. Dude, they're not applying any lessons they've learned from you acting like an overgrown baby with a hideously dated Kate and her 8 haircut. They're posting about your pants-sweating meltdown on Reddit. Edit, thank you for the award, and for the lively chatting in the replies. It happened to me today. Went to Schmessy's today to pick up a cookware set we plan on donating as part of my car club's Adopt a Family holiday giving. Most of what the family requested we were able to purchase online and avoided most stores, which I was extremely pleased about. The mom of our adopted family's #1 request was a new set of cookware. I spent the past week researching and checking Black Friday deals and found a great deal. Only problem is that it is an in-store only purchase, available until 5 p.m. I figure I would go in the afternoon, shouldn't be too bad. And it almost wasn't. Store had calmed down and employees seemed to be in good spirits. I asked an employee if any of the cookware sets were left and he said they had a few and pointed them out to me. He also told me to come right back to his cash wrap after I grabbed one because he just emptied one of those little carts they have. The box the cookware is packaged in is kind of a big awkward box and I can use the cart to get the box to my car. I grab the box and head to the cash wrap and yes, the box is big and I can barely wrap my arms around it. I take a few steps, this lady walks up and starts to pull the box out of my arms. I ask her what she's doing and she says she wants the cookware set. I tell her there are more over there, jerking my head in the general direction. She tells me she will just take this one. I say no, this is mine, go get your own. She says but I want it. I tell her to go get one. She tells me I am being rude and she will tell my boss. I tell her she is going to tell my boss I was shopping on Black Friday, kinda should be expected. I pivot a little get around her to get to the cash wrap where the gentleman asked me if I found it okay and pushes the cart up to me. The lady says wait. I saw you two talking earlier, you work here. I tell her I do not work here and I was just asking someone who works here for help. You know. Normal interaction when shopping. She just stares as I pay and thank the gentleman who helped me. She never said anything else. I think she might still be there. Waited for 2 hours to get called at the DMV. Went through the 30-minute paperwork process. Finally got outside and 2 ladies started yelling from their car. Lady 1, lady. At me, can you get state IDs in there? Lady 2, talking over Lady 1, do you work here? Do you work here? OP, shakes head and shrugging shoulder no, I don't work here. I believe so, but I don't know. Lady 1, but can I get my ID? OP, I believe so, but I don't know. There's a guy that stands out here to check you in. He's helping someone. Lady 1, can you go get him? Just go in there and get him. I'm gonna go in there and get him. OP, I can't go back in, I don't work here. Lady 1 and 2, you don't work here? You don't know nothing. Why you even out here? You don't work here. All I did was walk out of the exit door. I walked away and listened to the constant insults because I don't work there. Edit, y'all got me giggling over here. Also, I forgot a fun bit of the story until just now. The DMV guy ended up coming back outside about 5 minutes after the verbal lashing I received as I texted my husband the saga. They called him over to their car, just as they had tried to do to me. Lady 1, can I get an ID here? Lady 2 bringing out Lady 1's walker. Keep in mind, Lady 1 was the driver of the vehicle and they're parked in a handicap spot. Not sure the injury, but it's enough to have a handicap hanger and a walker, even though Lady 1 appeared to be about 40-50-ish range. DMV guy: yes, you can get your ID here, but we aren't taking any more walk-ins for the day. You'll need to make an appointment. Cue hysterics from both women, some expletives and another powwow amongst both women. Lady 1, driver: man, I really need to get my ID. I just need a state ID. I can't see and I'm having a hard time walking. I just moved here but I need to get my ID. I just need to get my ID. Can't I get in to get it? Guy: I understand, we just cannot take anyone else this morning without having an appointment. You'll have to come back after you make an appointment. Lady 1, well, fine then, can I make an appointment? I didn't hear his response, but he finished the conversation and promptly returned to the front door, where I heard him get cussed out by 3 more people because they needed an appointment and they felt they should get to go in right that effing second. I just want to know, how is she driving if she doesn't need a driver's license and just wants a state ID? Also, why is she driving if she can't see and has an injury preventing her from walking? She and her friend ended up yelling over to me again a few minutes after that. They called Lady about 30 times while I ignored them. Another guy finally came out of the building behind me and they asked him their question. There's no way I was about to talk to them again, not even to answer them with how to get out of the parking lot.